Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Immigration Museum. My name is Tence, and I manage the Access Gallery. That's the exhibition space where your community's exhibition is being displayed this evening. I'd like to welcome our special guests for tonight, Mr. Alfred Reznik, Honorary Consul General of the Republic of Slovenia for New South Wales and Victoria, Mrs. Elena Zorko, Embassy of the Republic of Slovenia, Mrs. Joanne Paddle-Ledinek, Research Scientist of the Department of Surgery, Monash University, and Dr. Paddle, Ms. Christine Crosby, International Diabetes Institute, Mr. Peter Mandelej, President of the Council of Slovenian Organisations, Professor David Pennington, President of the Museums Board of Victoria, Dr. George MacDonald, CEO, Museum Victoria and the Director of the Melbourne Museum, the Slovenian community generally, the Exhibition Committee, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of all guests here, I would firstly like to thank Mr. Lenti Lenko, who entertained us while we were previewing the exhibition very well indeed. We heard it from the exhibition space on the button accordion. And of course the very talented and colourfully dressed performance for a great start to this evening. Thank you very much. In my capacity as manager of the Access Gallery, I work with exhibiting groups to plan and develop their exhibitions and help implement their ideas. In this process, I'm often told that I compel communities to think beyond their cultural boundaries. That is because issues which they may take for granted need to be developed and explored for the wider community. Sometimes they're issues of history and sometimes they're issues of a contemporary nature. This often makes for a very lively debate and negotiation and at times involves various individuals or community perspectives. It also allows the museum to understand vexing issues within communities. Sometimes they are, as I said, of a historical nature, and sometimes they are contemporary issues. And with this community in particular, there were several contemporary issues that we needed to explore. Of course, all this makes up for a very exciting exhibition and makes up for a very exciting perspective on Victoria's social history. Of course, we developed a very strong relationship with the coordinators and the curators of the exhibition, Mrs. Milena Bragoz and Draha Gelt, who ensured that an array of community opinions and views were taken into consideration in the development of the exhibition. I know they consulted widely with their constituency, and on that basis, I can honestly say this exhibition is truly community representative. Firstly tonight, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Joanne Paddle-Ledinek, Research Scientist of the Department of Surgery, Monash University. And just to give you a bit of background, Mrs. Paddle-Ledinek came to Australia in 1964 to visit relatives and decided to stay and continue studies, graduating from Monash University with majors in chemistry and biochemistry. She's been involved in burns research since 1974 and pioneered the method in the preparation of cultured skin grafts in Australia. Her laboratory remains the only reliable supplier in Australia of cultured you'll have to correct me for this, autologous skin grafts on demand for burns patients, and is now adapting that knowledge in the area of articular cartilage defects. Mrs. Paddle-Ledinek will speak about Slovenian women as cultural custodians of the Slovenian customs and traditions in Australia. Can I welcome Mrs. Paddle to the microphone?
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and my friends, Slovenians. I feel privileged to be asked to speak at this official opening of the Slovenian exhibition in this beautiful venue, and in particular on what I see as the role that women play in passing on Slovenian traditions. I distinctly remember as a child, although I wasn't conscious of its implications then, that every time some kind, such as christening, wedding, birthday, confirmation, Easter, Christmas, it was always the women who were most involved with the organization of the event. Of course, my memory always takes me back to the culinary delights of occasions as well. Perhaps also my childhood was dominated by women. I was only 10 years old when I lost my father, and my mother was left to raise 4 children, 3 of them girls. When I came to Australia and married an Australian of Anglo-Saxon stock, I maintained my links with Slovenian culture by teaching students here the language. It was only when we had our own children that the desire to pass on my experience as a child emerged. Fortunately, my mother decided to come and stay with us while the children were small. It was largely through her that they learned the language, stories, folk songs, herbal medicine, and the culinary aspects of Slovenia. This they continue to enjoy today, along with their Australian heritage. This role of women as nurturers of our cultural heritage is apparent here today, since it was the Slovenian women of Melbourne that prepared this exhibition. Our thanks and congratulations goes to them. Iskrena hvala in čestitke našim Slovencem.